Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at patreon.com/inspired disorder.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
The Paper Tigers, new movie out now on Netflix. I, however, purchased the movie about a week ago. Had no idea it was going to Netflix. But that being said, I'm glad I own this movie. I did enjoy it. It brings me back to my childhood. This is a martial arts movie, a kung fu movie, but a comedy mixed with comedy. It's about these three older dudes who grew up doing martial arts. They had their sifu and they're doing all the kung fu, and they used to like go battle other dojos. And fun movie, right? Reminded me of bringing me back to my childhood, watching movies like Three Ninjas, The American Ninja, all the Jackie Chan movies, Jean-Claude Van Damme, like all of the martial arts movies that I grew up watching. Loved it, especially like the three. I don't know how well it holds up, but like Three Ninjas, where it's like the three kids. That's kind of like how these kids start out. Maybe not doing karate, they're doing kung fu, but yeah. This movie written and directed by Tran. Just great. I think this might be his first feature-length film. But the advantage of buying it on iTunes or through Apple is that you get like deleted scenes, you get the bloopers, you get behind-the-scenes stuff, which is nice. I'm glad independent film. I'm happy to support that by purchasing it. Great film. But yeah, so it's like these kids growing up, or it's not them growing up, but it's them grown up. Their sifu dies. That's kind of what brings them back together. And then it's intercut with these video sequences, like home videotape sequences of them as kids doing their martial arts training, doing their I forget what they called it. Their like dojo busting. I don't think that's what they called it, but they would basically go, and they were known as like the Three Tigers, and they would go to other people's kung fu schools and beat everybody up. And it was, I guess they were kind of bullies, but they had a great camaraderie. They were great. I mean, as far as like just badass martial artists, and it really the home video aspect of this movie really injected a lot of heart into it. Like I really loved these guys as friends, and like which makes the fact that they split up all more like painful in a way, because you'd hope that wouldn't happen. But like one of them got invited to, or two of them got invited to a competition in Japan. One of them stayed back with the sifu, and later was taught like this magical medicine stuff, which is kind of fun. I mean, the movie it exists in a world where like kung fu magic medicine is real, and then like the poison fingers is real, like these magical fight moves that can kill people, delayed kind of thing. But yeah, so the home videos really kind of bring a lot of heart to this movie, and really help to make me care a lot more for the adult versions. And all the casting is great. There's like two different ages of the kids. Like there's younger, and then there's them when they're like, there's them like preteens, and then it's them like in their teens, and then it's them in their like 30, 40s. But yeah, their sifu dies, which brings them back together. One of them is like all beaten up. He got fat. He's out of shape. The other one's just like a nerd and, not in shape at all either. And then the third guy's super jacked. But because when they went to Japan, the other guy flaked. And ever since then, they haven't been friends. He gave up kung fu and just did Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So he's like they're all, even though he's still super in shape and jacked, they're still like they're still like not trained at the moment. Like they're but they're still trying to get their groove back. And they're, so they brought back for this funeral, and they find out that somebody killed their sifu, and they're trying to find out who did it. They think it's these kids, and this fun fight scene in a pool with them against the kids, which, you know, something that Jackie Chan does a lot in his movies is really blends the comedy with the fighting. And I think this does that as well. And it, you know, lends itself to the fact that they're all old and out of shape and untrained. Not untrained, but like, you know, they haven't practiced in forever. Now, the guy that's doing the jujitsu, like I would imagine he would still remember how to do some of the stuff, even though he'd be rusty. But in this, it comes from the perspective that all he's done is jujitsu, and he doesn't know, which it works during the fight. He gets a takedown and then chokes the guy out. I think it was a choke. I'm pretty sure it was like a rear naked choke or something like that, which was cool to see. I mean, because that's where martial arts is modern day with MMA, and the director talked about this in the behind the scenes content that you get when you purchase it through iTunes. That modern day martial arts is different because we know so much more. There's so many more styles, and it's like just to think of just a martial arts movie or a kung fu movie just only having one style, which kung fu, not really the most effective martial art. It is the most romanticized, I think, of the martial arts, but not you don't really see anybody using kung fu in MMA. Maybe. I think Zhang Wei Li, maybe she might implement some of it because she's from China. That's, you know, kung fu's from China, or gung fu. They do these matchups, bim maos. I forget is that what it's called? Bimo, where it's like a duel. And basically what they would do when they would go to the different dojos or whatever, they would, challenge them and they would fight. So they challenge these kids, and it's a fun kind of back and forth where they're trying to find out who killed their Sifu. And apparently, the Sifu took on a new student. There's this scene where they're trying to find this student in this martial arts gym, and one of the guys is just like, you have to hear it, which is true. It's so true. I mean, I guess you have to hear it when it hits the bag. You know, like you can hear good technique how it hits the bag, and it's similar to like when you hear if you ever play. I only played baseball when I was a young kid, not a lot, but there's a sound. And it also, you can feel it on the bat when you hit the sweet spot, where you hit the ball on the perfect sweet spot, and you get like the longest hit, and it has this sound that's like crisp, and it's similar to like, I mean, you hear it with basketball when you hit a swish. I love playing on metal net outdoor basketball hoops, so when you hit the swish, it's got that sound to it, right? It's not bouncing on stuff. It's got that clean sound. You're playing tennis and you hit the ball perfect. It feels effortless. And the sound reflects the sound is perfect. You can like hear the quality in just the thing. And that's what they're in this gym searching for. And they find the guy. And that's like the guy who kind of like took over. There's like, you know, when the three tigers left, this guy kind of came in and became the new student, and you get branded or whatever when you become the new kind of first in line. So it's fun. So it's like them trying to track this guy down, and then them trying to fight, which they don't do very well. They're all out of shape. So it's like, I enjoy it. I enjoy the entire movie was a lot of fun. There's a character, Carter, who you see in the home video clips. That's just like this guy who worships Chinese culture, this white guy who worships Chinese culture, and just like is like the typical cultural appropriation. Like he speaks Chinese better than the tigers do. He wears like authentic clothing, which is, outdated, but he's basically culturally appropriated Chinese culture as a white dude. But it's played funny though, because he's like kind of like he's a loser. You know, he's kind of got that mentality of like wanting to kiss ass, and it shows. Even the fact when he's all jacked and he's running his own school. But yeah, he's a fun character also. Um, there's a little drama that happens with the main character and his wife. Like he's sharing custody with their son, and it's like because he's trying to track down the person that murdered his Sifu. He's not able to see his son, which is basically not holding up his responsibilities of sharing custody with his kid. So it's got that angle, that kind of family narrative perspective going on within the whole thing. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. If you want to watch, if you're into martial arts movies, but you want to have like the comedy feel to it, the comedy vibe to it, not like overtly. This is not like Kung Pao comedy, not like goofy type of, or like even some Jackie Chan movies get a little goofy. But it's funny. I mean, it's like grounded in a lot of ways, aside from like the Kung Fu Magic Medicine. A very grounded kind of comedy portrayal of what it would be like for middle-aged men to get back into Kung Fu after being away from it for like 2 decades. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Is there anything else I forgot to sound of the bag, last fight? Yeah, the last fight was a little bit of a bummer. If I had to pick out something that I would have changed to make this movie better, is to not have the end fight take place at night. I mean, yeah, it's on a rooftop, but it's dark. I'm so tired of action movies setting action scenes in the dark. There is zero need for it. Like, let me see it. I understand why a lot of comic book movies do it, because it's cheaper CGI to do it in dark. You don't have to. It's a lot easier to animate, but it's like hard to see. Do it. I mean, even if you did it at night, make sure you light it good so we can see things. Like, it could still be night, but like get some creative lighting going on in there. Like in Gunpowder Milkshake, like it's a very dark movie, but also well lit in a lot of ways. Which I know it's a small budget movie, but just having a end fight scene take place at night is just no movie should be doing that anymore. Just stop. Do it during the day. Do it at like a sunset. I know it's like probably harder to shoot and everything, but like make it look beautiful. Make the scene part of the scene. Don't just, I don't know. And then also they added rounds, which I don't get. I don't know if that's traditional Bim Ma. Did I even say that right? Bim Mo. I'm saying it completely wrong, I'm sure. But yeah, they had like rounds. They had like 3-minute round, 3-minute rounds with 1-minute breaks. I don't know. I mean, it helps the fact that he's out of shape. I mean, there's a funny sequence where in the first 30 seconds of the first round, he's already gassed. I mean, there's no way. Like, the reality of that fight was like there should have been some kind of training montage where other than just, I mean, there's a big thing about him when he meditates and is in the zone, he's able to see things before they happen, which is cool. Like the way they portray that in the film and use effects to kind of pull off that idea. It's great, but like there's no way he would win that fight. I mean, especially being gassed after 30 seconds. Like there's just no way. But it was fun, The fact that it's a comedy and it's a martial arts film, it's got a lot of room to wiggle. Let's put it that way. But that would be the only thing I would change. Is just like, you keep the rounds, whatever, but don't do it at night. Like if you're gonna do it at night on a rooftop, make it look cool. Can we see things? Can we I don't know. It just felt like it could have been better. Like just a little bit better, and it would have been, whatever, small nitpicky thing. I really enjoyed the movie. So check it out. It's on Netflix, called The Paper Tigers. Get yourself $25 in new credit when you sign up for your great new cell phone service over at Ting. Go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Ting. Sign up now with that link, and you get yourself $25 to put towards a new device, put towards your service. But it's a great quality service that you do not pay an arm and a leg for. I love it. I've been using it for years and pay so very little. I could almost pay 2 months of my cell phone bill with $25 credit that you get for free when you go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Ting. That's TING, inspireddisorder.com/Ting. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!